Folks, welcome to So Bad It's Good. This is an emergency video slash podcast because we have to do this because we had breaking news yesterday, and that is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14 trailer dropped. And I knew it was going to come this week, but at the same time, I didn't know. So it finally dropped. The world is exploding. Bravo is firing on all cylinders. And I have to tell you, I got really scared because at the end, it said that it's going to premiere Tuesday, November 19th. Guys, couldn't we do it in the new year? November 19th. We're at the end of the year. We're in the midst of OC. We're in the midst of Salt Lake City. We're in the midst of Potomac. We've got Below Deck Sailing Yacht. We have too much going on. And now you have the crown jewel of the Housewives franchise. November 9th. I'm not prepared for this. Are we prepared to go into full recaps of Beverly Hills? Erika Jayne is back. And I'm Kyle Richards going through very tough things emotionally. There is so much. So today we're going to do a full trailer breakdown. We're also going to go through, because Bravo was nice enough to give us kind of these character log lines for what each character is going to be going through this season. And this season looks like there is a lot. Now, I talked to Kyle Richards on the red carpet a couple weeks ago at that Us Weekly event. And I said, listen, can you have fun this season? You went through such an intense last season. Can you have fun? And she was like, I don't, not really. She kind of was like, not really. And now that we see the trailer, I can totally understand where Kyle's coming from. It looks like Kyle is going to have a very rough season. Now, of course, am I disappointed that we didn't see Morgan Wade? It's me, Morgan, Kyle's special friend. We don't see her in this trailer. And if there's Morgan Wade erasure, I don't want it. I mean, I'm still going to watch it, but come on, can we better get like another tattoo with Morgan. You're getting a tattoo. I need more Morgan Wade. That's just my personal opinion. We have Mauricio pop up on the trailer. We have the addition of Jennifer Tilly, the amazing actor, and Sutton Stracke's best friend. And also Sutton. I mean, in this trailer, you guys, she's like, I don't got to bow down to the altar of Miss Kyle Richards. I say no. We have Garcelling. We have Dorit. She at one point yells at Kyle, like, I'm telling you this, like she's like a WWE wrestler. I'm telling you this right now, Kyle Richards. I'll meet you in the mat, in the octagon, any day. You just shut your mouth. There is a lot. I was not in, like, we've seen Dorit mad before, but I feel like in the moment we see in the trailer, it's potentially the angriest I've ever seen Dorit. And I got nervous. I was like, oh shit. I almost left the room as I was watching because I was that scared. I mean, spooky season is definitely here. We have the addition of an all new housewife, which is going to be interesting to find out everything of her story. They call her Bozoma St. John. She is going to be a new cast member. And I don't know, you guys, I'm so excited to hear your opinions and your takes of this trailer. And also the trailer, it brings back that Hollywood glam, the va-va-va-voom, the portraits of each one of these ladies. They are dolled up like a 40s pinup old Hollywood glamour queen. And I got to tell you, this is what Beverly Hills does best, man. They bring the glamour and also they bring the drama. This has turned into one of my favorite franchises. Like, I loved it at first. And remember, we had that period of time somewhere in between, like we're going into the 14th season, but there was a couple of like years where you kind of just like, this isn't really firing on all cylinders. And then I think it was the introduction of Erika Jayne and the Tom Girardi scandal that really, I mean, it was also the pandemic. So we were into everything, but we were like hyper watching Beverly Hills. And also, I'm curious what Erika Jayne's storyline is this season. We don't really get to see a lot of it in the trailer. So I'm curious what that storyline is going to be. So the trailer does a great job of teasing a lot of these big moments, but also it leaves so much in the eye of the beholder of we don't know a lot of what we're going to see still, which I kind of love. So let's start with these character log lines. And this is what Bravo gives to the public to, let us know what journey each of these ladies are on. So let's look at this. Wait, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see all these photos in the trailer. If you're listening to this on audio, let me just paint you a picture. Like I'm like that music video. Remember back in the day, Lionel Richie, where in the music video he falls in love with a blind girl and she can feel his face, and at the end there's the really ugly Lionel Richie bust that she makes of him because she felt his face. And if you're been listeners to this show from the beginning, I've always said if I ever make real money, I'm going to buy that Lionel Richie bust from the music video because for me that is, I mean, I would just show that off. I want a reality show museum, but I would include the Lionel Richie bust because that's incredible. So if you're listening, let me try to explain everything that's in the trailer. So I think it's going to work both ways. But this first photo of all of the ladies, this is what I'm talking about. Va 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 boom. I mean, you got Sutton with the largest statement necklace I've ever seen, which I can only imagine somebody like Erika Jayne is like, I used to have those, but the court took it all. You have Dorit looking beautiful. I mean, they all look beautiful. We also noticed that Jennifer Tilly is not in this because she is a friend of. A lot of people were confused because Jennifer Tilly does make her way onto the trailer, and we know she filmed at a lot of the events, but she is not a full housewife. But listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. I think this is a good easing in of Jennifer Tilly because she's famously said in the past that this was all just too negative for her. So I'm glad she has finally decided to get into the Housewives ring. And hopefully when all these ladies come at Sutton, it'll be interesting to see how Jennifer Tilly reacts to that. Okay, so the first slide, what do we have here? Oh, it's Kyle Richards. So this is what they tell us about Kyle. Kyle Richards, she steps into an uncharted phase of life, grappling with the reality of her separation from her husband, Mauricio, with their daughter Alexia also out of the house. Kyle's once bustling home is no longer what it used to be, leaving her to adjust to her new normal. Woo! Now remember, Buying Beverly Hills got canceled by Netflix, which we were hearing more of Kyle and the family story on that show than we were Beverly Hills. So hopefully we're going to be able to actually see some of that honesty they gave us on Buying Beverly Hills in actual Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But yeah, I mean, Alexia is gone. Also, Kyle, I think at this point has 30 dogs. So it's not an empty nest situation entirely, but it's kind of like a Dr. Doolittle thing happening with Kyle. So there's a lot we can take from this. Obviously, the Mauricio thing, this is a multi-decade relationship that involves business and family. So of course, this is not something that was going to be announced last season and then she's like skippity doodah this season. I just wish we had a little bit of a hint in this log line of Kyle's romantic relationships with other people or where she's at with that. And we also see Kathy Hilton. Kyle, I thought you were Kyle. Oh, it's me, Kathy. I'm back. Kathy Hilton is back. We already see her in some goofy hat wear in the trailer. But where does Kathy fit in all of this? And I hate to bring this up, and I purposely stayed away from this story because I know it's so personal, is that Kim Richards obviously has had another mental health crisis. And I do wonder, if that gets brought up at all. Remember, we had Kim in certain episodes on season 13. Will we see her at all? I mean, last we saw her, she was talking about coloring on the walls of her house because she's really into coloring lately. And I think we all want the best for Kim. And I just wonder if her story is going to be mentioned or told at all, or if they're going to protect her, which I think Kyle especially is pretty good about protecting certain facets of her life. So we'll see. So that is Kyle. She's grappling with a lot. Now, Garcelle, she is busier than ever building her legacy. On top of executive producing and starring in new projects, she's guiding her son, Jade, through the first steps of his modeling career. Thriving professionally, Garcelle is ready to start the next chapter in her personal life and seeks to mend past rifts in her relationship with her son, Oliver. So what do we take so her next chapter in her personal life, does that mean doing the old hippity dippity of like, does that mean getting a dude, getting down to the freaky deaky? What is that? Or I'm just being pervy right now. I don't know. I mean, this is another one of those things that's written, it's like it doesn't drill down on anything specific. I also want to point out that this does not mention her son Jax at all, just her son Jade, because Jax will not be appearing on the show at all because it was too negative for him. There was too many hate comments and they are keeping Jax off the show, which is good. If you're getting hate like that, yeah, do not participate. Smart way to go. But we do know her son Oliver is mentioned. And remember, her son Oliver works, I believe, at Vanderpump Vegas, or whatever they call it, one of the Vanderpump restaurants in Las Vegas. So I'm curious what that means. He had a couple of scenes last season. And of course, remember, he had a couple of scenes in Vanderpump Rules dating the artist formerly known as Rachel Leviss. Curious where that storyline goes. But obviously, Garcelle, she's been working on a bunch of Lifetime movies, and it'll be interesting to see what is going on there. But also, Garcelle has been one of the people that really has that friction relationship with Dorit, which is not mentioned in this description, but I imagine we will be seeing part 43 of that contentious relationship. Okay, who do we got next? We have Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne. It's out with the old and in with the new as Erika Jayne sheds her old life by getting rid of by getting rid of the furniture she's held on. I just complained about the last one not being too specific. This might be way too specific. Oh, so we're going to have like a yard sale? I can already Erika. Yeah, what do you want for that diamond encrusted panther? I'm selling it for $30. Can I do it for 25? No, I'm standing firm at 30. So she's going to be getting rid of furniture that probably is from the Tom Girardi Pasadena house. The description continues, though her legal issues aren't completely gone, you can say that again, she can finally breathe and move forward. Just as things are looking up, Erika finds herself playing middleman between friends Kyle and Dorit, forcing her to navigate rocky terrain. Now, if I was a betting man, you got to pay attention to words like rocky terrain, because on its face, you're like, oh, that completely makes sense. Rocky terrain, it's a contentious relationship, like I said. But in reality, rocky terrain, also, they try to be clever, leads me to think that we're going to have like a rock climbing episode. We're going to literally going to be on a wall of rocks. And Erika's like, come on, Dorit, say something nice about Kyle. And Kyle, you say something nice about Dorit. As they're like climbing up some kind of boulder. Yeah, but that's Erika Jayne. I wonder what finally breathe and move forward means. I'm wondering if Mikey Minden is going to be involved. Where are we at in Erika Jayne touring? We know she released a new single, so I'm sure more of that will pop up as well. I got to tell you, folks, season 13 had so many really stellar, funny moments. Remember the pants at the Chippendales or Thunder from Down Under or whatever? It was like, I'm not going to wear pants. Remember when Sutton freaked out because she was also upset that she wasn't getting grinded on stage? And then we had the name 'em. I hope we have more ridiculous moments like that, but who knows? Anyways, Erika Jayne. Next, we have Dorit. Dorit's is she opens up to the women about her marriage to PK, sharing that their struggles run deeper than she's admitted to in the past. Yeah. As they navigate a separation, Dorit faces a roller coaster of emotions while trying to shield their children from the fallout. Discovering her voice, she's not afraid to speak up for what she wants out of her relationships. So obviously that last line, I would bet dollars to donuts. That's all about Kyle Richards and that relationship. Because remember, you guys, where we left off at the reunion, remember when Dorit shared text messages from Kyle text messages, and Kyle was super pissed. Dorit was super pissed. So they're already going in not on a good foot at all. And at the beginning of season 13, what was it? We had what was it, like Chief Yellow Feather? Like they did that whole bonding exercise to get them on this. I know was it like Little Feather or Little Stone? Anyways, they had these spiritual people try to build and bring these ladies together, and obviously it didn't work. Also, I would have loved a mention in here of Dorit faces a roller coaster of emotions while having to close Dorit's room, the Capri room at Buca de Beppo. Dorit, I got to tell you, this is my bone to pick with Dorit. I mean, there's a couple other bones, but my main bone is you have a whole season a couple seasons ago about Dorit's room at Buca de Beppo, and then we just forget about it. No, you don't forget about history like that. The fact that we have never seen Buca de Beppo on any other season since that season is a crime. And it makes me think that I was played as an audience, because I want that to be the new Sir. I want to read in there every day of like, I'm making the schedule for Buca de Beppo. Like, we don't have any of that. And as a fan, that breaks my heart, especially as Buca de Beppos are closing all around the nation. So that's Dorit's log line. Now, Sutton, I'll say it's me, Sutton Stracke. It says she is forging her own path while healing old wounds. I've got muss in a puss. with a new sustainable capsule collection and fashion show in the works. Sorry, and fashion show in the works. This Southern socialite is thriving in her professional life, trying to trying to show her mother that I can stand on my own 2 feet, mom. Trying to show her mother that she can stand on her own. Because remember, Sutton's mom, she doesn't take no guff. And she's not like a big sentimental person like, other people are. So it's interesting to see Sutton have aspects of her mom, of kind of being that tough person, but at the same time, very emotional, which her mom does not seem to be. It says Sutton may finally get the approval she has always longed for. And there is no mention here of Sutton's dating life, remember, she had a matchmaker last season, a really excited matchmaker. She was always in the scenes going like, yeah, let's do it, Sutton. Let's find you love. So I think potentially Sutton has given up on love. But the sustainable capsule collection is interesting because they recently announced that Sutton's concept, the store in West Hollywood, is closing down and they are moving to online only. And I got to tell you, man, this is just so sad. Buca de Beppo closing, Sutton's closing. I mean, isn't this supposed to be good for business? Why are we closing all of these things? But Sutton's store, it was always open in like completely weird hours. It would be like, yeah, we're open from 2 to 3 for an hour. And then Javi, then we're just going to have like a dinner set up for one of the cast members, like people banging on the door. We want to buy things. Okay, who else do we have here? We have Bozoma. Bozoma. How do I say her name correct? I'm so sorry if I'm butchering I think they call her Bozoma St. John. This is our new housewife. Coming off a 20-year run as a marketing executive, newcomer Bozoma St. John is making big moves in her family life. In the midst of raising her 15-year-old daughter, Lael, Lael, and building her relationship with boyfriend Keely, she's focused on expanding her family. Smart, successful, and self-made, Bozoma is unafraid to speak her mind. While she and Dorit become fast friends, some of the other women quickly question her allegiance. So Dorit, they have this strong relationship, but other women are questioning that allegiance to Dorit. Now, this is a big log line, but she's a newcomer, so we don't know anything about her. So that's why we have so many things. Now, Bose, she's a business person and a marketing executive. She was the chief marketing executive at Netflix for 17 months. And previously, she was the CMO at Endeavor, which is one of the biggest agencies in Los Angeles, one of the biggest talent business agencies in Los Angeles. She was there for 2 years, and she was the chief brand officer at Uber for 1 year. She was also a marketing executive at Apple Music until 2017, after joining the company in its acquisition of Beats Music. From 2005 until 2014, she worked at PepsiCo, and she served as the head of music and entertainment. I mean, this is what a career this woman has had. I mean, it's one of those things that, the other women, this is real work. She has been in power seats at a lot of these entertainment companies. So I'm personally fascinated at bringing that business acumen to these ladies. How did she do this? And how did the other ladies take to that? Because this is, I hate using the word, boss babe, but like, this is a boss babe. This is, somebody that's doing it all on top of a daughter, a 15-year-old daughter, which we've seen in Housewives iterations before. Those relationships with kids are so intense. And then she has a boyfriend, Keely. She's not married, a boyfriend. Boyfriends, that's like hard in a reality show in terms of keeping a relationship going. I'm already really fascinated. I was just, after reading that business thing, I'm kind of really curious, because this person, if you look at that resume, she knows her way around in a meeting. She meets with the biggest power brokers out there. So I am very curious how these other women, like, could you imagine Sutton of like, well, I'm doing my Sutton store. We only open from the hours between 2 and 4. And Bo is being like, what are you doing, woman? What is going on? Like, I don't know. I'm completely curious. Now, Kathy Hilton, she has a log line, even though she's not in the cast photo. It says, Kathy Hilton, resident socialite and 90210 icon. Kathy Hilton returns as a grounding presence for the ladies amid all the changes. She's a source of support for her sister Kyle and becomes a trusted confidant for Dorit. So from these descriptions, it looks like Dorit is creating a gang. Like Dorit is creating like a Marvel's Avengers to go against Kyle specifically. Now this kind of makes me curious because Kathy, we remember Lisa Rinna's last season of like, hey Kathy, what did you say, Kathy? You got to apologize to your sister Kyle. Like, is everybody going to go against Kyle, including Kathy? I'm nervous. But I love when anybody like just reading the words Kathy Hilton is a grounding presence. I'm a grounding presence this season. I'll eat caviar and a baked potato and I'll ground the hell out of you. Like, when did you ever think you would read that Kathy Hilton is a grounding presence? But listen, I'm so thankful that Kathy's back because she truly, genuinely doesn't need this, doesn't need to do it. But I also want to recommend everybody watch Paris and Love season 2 because you really, that relationship between Kathy and Paris, you get to know Kathy so much more through that show than you do on Beverly Hills. So she's a nice addition. Now, Jennifer Tilly's logline is no stranger to the glamour of Beverly Hills. Oscar-nominated actress Jennifer Tilly is brought into the fold by close friend Sutton. Always larger than life, she brings a much-needed levity to the friend group. Now, remember, Jennifer Tilly was in, Bride of Chucky. She was in the Chucky TV show that unfortunately just got canceled. But also she is an Oscar-nominated actress being nominated for Bullets Over Broadway back in the day, which is one of my favorite movies. John Cusack, Diane Wiest, Jennifer Tilly, I think it's Chaz Palminteri. It's such a fantastic movie. Unfortunately, directed by Woody Allen. Wouldn't it be great if like Woody Allen shows up in a scene? With all of a sudden you're like, oh God, Woody Allen. But Jennifer Tilly, this is another person, doesn't need to do this. Also, she is a professional gambler. Like, she wins gambling competitions all over the world. So I can't wait to find out more about Jennifer Tilly's personal life. So that's Jennifer Tilly. And was that our last one? I think that might have been our last one. So that's just the log lines, you guys. We haven't even gotten to the trailer itself. So now where do we start? We start with the little teaser. Okay, so TikTok, we got this from TikTok, and this was just the teaser where it's like the old Hollywood glam poses where the ladies are like lit very darkly. So you just see a little light and the ladies are like making these little dance moves one at a time.
Lights, camera, action.
So it's like va 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 boom, va da boom, va da boom. It's like that really kind of sexy burlesque kind of a thing. It would be great. If they really wanted to get attention, they should have had Sutton topless, like lights, camera, action, and then they blur out just like a black bar over Sutton's nude body. I'm just spitballing here, guys. I'm spitballing, but you have to read like lights, and then Kyle, camera, and Sutton like action. And then we see
it's
Garcelle.
Showtime, baby.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is back.
And the trailer begins in 3, 2, 1.
That truly is old style glamour. That is the watching old movies. That's how they used to present movies. That's how they used to present movie trailers, with that big band, brassy music. And first off, congratulations to the ladies for knowing how to count 3, 2, 1. I was kind of like on the fence. Will they know what comes after 3? But they did it. I love Kathy Hilton going, and now we present the new trailer for The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14. And you have Kyle with the old school clapper. Scene 101, RHOBH, season 14. But I love this. They spent some money on this, which when they spend money, they usually think that people are going to be tuning in. People are going to be watching. This is a crown jewel. So I truly love that. If you guys haven't seen it, and if you're listening, not watching, go check it out on TikTok. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to play the trailer one time. We'll all listen to it and watch as a family. And then we will go back in moment by moment and just go through it. Okay, here we go. Are you prepared? 3, 2, 1.
Are not perfect. There are many ups and downs, twists and turns.
Look at all of us, our age and what we're doing. Everybody honestly should be ashamed of themselves. Seriously.
I am not going to bow down at the altar of Kyle Richards.
You think I'm some f***ing idiot.
We've all been trying to get you to stop talking so that you can listen to us.
We don't need you to make this group exist. Let us join our palms together.
I really hope that this ribbon does what Sutton's intending for it to do. And if not, I can save it in case I need to strangle one of these ladies.
We are now sisters forever.
God help us.
This season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Let's get drunk!
Go.
We are going to arrive in style.
I love it because it really does go with my Chanel bathing suits.
I feel so elegant.
Oh, that waves, honey.
You can't wear anything that people have seen you in. That's the kiss of death in Beverly Hills.
Bose is the real deal. She's the boss.
Cheers to St. Lucia!
To St. Lucia!
Don't mind Tiffany.
Oh, that's really creepy. Are you married?
Not this week.
Me neither.
Beverly Hills is the place where marriages come to die.
I think that you need to file.
It sucks to see your photos of your ex making out with some child.
It's too much all at once.
Of course.
We're talking like 5 times a day.
I know, but we're not going to.
You're angry, and you're not angry at me. You're angry at your life.
You're volatile.
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Can you let me talk?
It's okay, Kyle. It's time for you to f***ing listen.
Kyle told me PK texts her.
What more do you want from me?
I want you to stop raising your voice at me.
No, you scream everybody. I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore.
Damn! Where the hell's she going?
Whoa. Whoa, you guys. Just whoa. Holy bananas. Holy banana. That was insane. Now, they do the thing that, at this point, we've pointed it out so many times when we do these trailer breakdowns, is that Bravo has this formula. And what they do is, and this is, by the way, this is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is, I think, a longer trailer than we've gotten in the past for certain other seasons from other iterations. But they'll start it with like the intense, like da 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 intense, and that's like the first, I don't know, 35 seconds where you're like, oh my god, and then all of a sudden you'll hear the voice of like this season on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and then all of a sudden it's fun, like, and it's like women falling on each other and drinking and laughing and bumping into things, because then you're so traumatized by the first 40 seconds that you're like, wait a sec, this show is a lot of fun too. This is fun. This is capital F-U-N. And then it starts to slowly creep back to drama and like intensity and yelling and screaming and crying. And then we usually, we end with a button. We end with a waka waka. And then that's it. So that's the formula that we get with all of these trailers. And it is the same here. Now, when I watched this at first yesterday, I watched it for a couple times back to back. And I got to say, it looks, the glamour is there. They go to St. Lucia. So there's a lot of costumings, carnival, a lot of nakies, like a lot of partial nakedies. That's not a word. The ladies seem very not clothed, I guess is the word. So we obviously have this beautiful cast trip to Milwaukee. No, I'm joking. We're not in Salt Lake, to St. Lucia. They get, by the way, this trip must have been so fancy that they cut the budget for Salt Lake's trip. They're like, you guys can do Milwaukee. So that is going to be, you're going to see all that on screen, all those colors, all of that. So what stood out to me originally was the Dorit stuff, because, they announced a separation and that they were also working on their marriage. From this, it doesn't seem like that work is going too well. And I, obviously don't believe that they're together now, but we'll see that, break down in some way on the show. the Mauricio Kyle of it all. We see a couple of scenes with Mauricio, and one where I think she's crying and Mauricio is holding her. So that I thought was interesting. You see Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton, but we don't really get to see what they fully bring to it yet. Sutton saying, I'm not going to bow down to the altar of Kyle Richards is Sutton fully leaning into a potential villain role? And like I said earlier, I still am very, I think this trailer doesn't show us potentially anything that Erika Jayne is involved in, besides we get to see her in costumes in St. Lucia. And they talk about Boz being, man, she is a boss. She runs the ship. So that's what we see. But let's go through it with a fine-tooth comb, like we're all Sherlock Holmes, and see what we can figure out from here. Okay. So we're going to start this. We start with the, obviously they're in St. Lucia, and it's like a low camera angle filming upwards. So you get to see the night sky with fireworks everywhere.
Friendships are not perfect.
And you hear a voiceover of Sutton going, friendships, I say, are not perfect. And we're like, oh my God, she's got to be talking about the friendships of Beverly Hills, as we see them in costumes and the fireworks exploding all around them.
There are many ups and downs, twists and turns.
And then we see them at a long table, all of the ladies, and obviously Sutton is reading something, and she's like, there's many ups and downs and twists and turns. And we see like little shots of each one of the ladies reacting like it's some Agatha Christie murder mystery or something like that. I was like, oh my God, are we solving a murder? That's always been my dream. Like, I don't want anybody to obviously get murdered, but my dream is to have a Housewives murder mystery season where it's like somebody at this table killed somebody and we're not leaving nowhere until we figured out it was Colonel Mustard with a wrench in Erika Jayne's prayer room. I say. So you see, this has to be in St. Lucia as well, whenever this dinner took place.
Look at all of us, our age and what we're doing. Everybody honestly should be ashamed of themselves.
Okay, so then this is at obviously some other spa. We see them with bathrobes on. And if you see in the image, it has like Erika in, like they have it like emblazoned with their names. And Kyle, obviously in the midst of a meltdown, going like, this is what's going on with us, ladies. It's crazy. Look at our age, all this. Ah. I mean, she is on one. So this obviously, something has preceded this that has led up to this explosion at a potential day spa where Kyle is just, it looks like she's at wit's end. I want more. If Morgan could have been there, I could have calmed Kyle down.
Seriously.
I am not going to bow down at the altar of Kyle Richards.
Okay, so that was a scene then with Garcelle and Sutton of like, I'm not going to bow down. I say to the altar of Kyle Richards. No. And they're not going to get Sutton this time. No. I'm not going to let the mouse go. I'm going to get Kyle Richards this season. And then we open up on like a limo door opening.
You think I'm some...
And we see Kyle posing at like the GLAAD Awards, like on the red carpet. Camera lights going off everywhere. And then Dorit in what looks like a beret with these big hoop earrings and what looks like what does she have? Like white vinyl or like clear vinyl on her shoulder strappies. But Dorit is talking, I think, to Kyle.
Idiots.
We've all been...
Okay, she's like, you think I'm some sort of idiot? And then we look at Kyle, and Kyle looks like she has antlers on her head. It looks like she's like in that show Yellow Jackets on Showtime. You think of me like some sort of idiot? And then Kyle kind of does look like an idiot with the antlers on her heads or whatever that is. It looked like antlers to me.
Trying to get you to stop talking so that you can listen to us.
And then Garcelle in like a Beyonce silver cowboy hat that looks like a mirror ball. He's like, we want you to stop talking so you can fucking listen to us. Now, if I were a betting man, which I am, if I play the Wheel of Fortune slot machines in Vegas, I would take that as Garcelle telling that to Dorit, because Dorit, time and time again, season after season, is that she talks too much, like good old Ryan Bailey here, and she is not listening. I'm trying to get you to listen. And they do have a shot immediately after that with Dorit, who looks like she's in one of those big Mumford and Sons hats that Kyle Richards loves so much from Kimosabi. And, Dorit's like putting her hair back like, oh, who, me? I listen plenty.
We don't need you to make this group exist.
Okay, and then we have Sutton voiceover going, we don't need you, I say, to make this group exist. But we get reaction shots of a sweaty Erika Jayne. Erika Jayne looks like she's in a sauna or something, even though it's not actually in a sauna. Yeah, she looks like it's in a sauna. She's sitting next to Garcelle, but I don't know, she's in like, I don't know, she just looks really red, like the Kool-Aid man. Or she kind of looks like some of the men on Real Housewives of New Jersey. But we hear Sutton's voiceover, but just because we see Erika Jayne doesn't mean Sutton is talking about Erika Jayne. If I were a betting man, like I said, I believe Sutton is referring to Kyle Richards. So this might be Franken-editing entirely, or maybe Sutton is talking to Kyle and Kyle's there, and this is the reaction shot from Erika Jayne while Kyle's being chewed out by Sutton. Who knows?
You to make this group exist.
Let us join our palms together.
I really hope that this ribbon does what Sutton's intending for it to do.
Okay, so this is at that same dinner where Sutton was talking earlier in the trailer. And she's like, Dorit's like, I hope this ribbon does what Sutton's intending for it to do. And I was like, what is this, 50 Shades of Grey? Are we talking, is it like, what are we like, is there like a whip involved at some point? Is this sexy time? But you see all the ladies like putting their hands in, and there's like this like turquoise ribbon that they're tying around the hands. You guys are probably way more spiritual than I am, so maybe this is some sort of, I don't know, is this Scientology? What is, I don't know, is this a big ribbon tying of the hand ceremony? So obviously this is a big Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants moment to bring them all together, and they've used props like Carrot Top.
And if not, I can save it in case I need to strangle one of these ladies.
Dorit, she goes, if this ribbon doesn't work, I can use it to completely cut off the air circulation on their necks. I will kill each and every one of these ladies. Beep, boop, 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 boop. So cute.
We are now sisters forever.
And then Sutton ends that little moment with the ribbon of like, we are now, I'll say sisters forever. No, there's got to be a bloodletting ceremony or something. You got to be like blood sisters. When you used to do that as a kid, where you prick your finger and then you'd like rub the fingers together and be like, now we're related. I want to see that. Like, who cares about a ribbon? Like, is this ribbon blessed by the Pope or something? What's the story with the ribbon? Is the ribbon a friend of this season? Why does this? And also legally, does that mean Erika Jayne's like, yeah, we're sisters legally, and that way I can claim any money that you have. It's all mine. We're family. We're sisters because of the ribbon. Yeah. So we see all of the ladies with their faces. I'm looking at Kyle's right now in the ribbon ceremony, and it looks like she's trying not to laugh. Who knows? I don't know how serious they're taking this ribbon ceremony. What if the ribbon ceremony is like 4 episodes? It's kind of like Jax and Brittany's wedding, that season of Vanderpump Rules, where it lasted for way too many episodes. We're like the 5th episode of the ribbon ceremony this season, episode 14.
God help us.
This season on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Wait. Sorry, I'm trying to pause this. I just love the disembodied voice that they put over. I think it's Dorit of like, God help us. Oh, God, help us with this ribbon ceremony. It's so intense. By the way, wouldn't it be awesome if that ribbon ceremony also potentially was like the lead up to a body switching movie? Like, I'm Kyle Richards. How do I have this voice all of a sudden? Beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Oh, I can't afford any of these clothes I wear. I don't want to talk to PK. I don't know. That's just an idea. Do you guys ever do that where you write fan fiction for your favorite reality shows? Like I used to do that. I've told you this before, but like with Real Housewives of New York, I once wrote a whole breakdown of like the Cloverfield monster in like a Roni episode where the ladies have to like run away from the Cloverfield monster because it's striking New York. And Ramona's like, what is it? What even is this Cloverfield monster? It's crazy. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable. But it's a fun activity, you guys. You could put these characters in any real life scenario, and it sometimes is even better than the show. And then after this bloodletting ribbon ceremony, we get that fun Garcelle voice like this season on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we see like Bentleys on the road. We see a giant inflatable beach ball. We see some guy carrying Sutton on the beach. We see Kathy Hilton in her lampshade hat that she's famous for. We see Kyle. These are all just quick shots. We see Kyle on a bull Morgan's like, I taught her how to ride a bull. We see, I think, St. Lucia or at a dance club. I think there's like a foam party in the background, maybe. Oh, we see Sutton. I think that's Erika Jayne. I think she's making out with Garcelle. And then we see Dorit's reaction to this and Boz. And Dorit's like, zoinks! What? Who did I see two lesbianic phallic? What was it called? Anyways, the Garcelle and Erika kid. Oh my God. Wouldn't that be just, I'm wishing too hard on this, but it would just truly be amazing if we had Garcelle in a full relationship with Erika Jayne. Could you imagine? Could you?
I'm feeling things I've never felt before for anyone. For you, Garcelle. I love you.
That's what I'm talking about. Fan fiction. So Dorit seems to be reacting to this.
Let's get drunk. Go.
And then we see another scene where we're in a kitchen and Garcelle has a martini glass going, let's get drunk. And Erika Jayne is hugging her again. Well, who knows? Kiss in the earlier scene, a hug here. We see then them back on the beach, and it looks like they're playing potentially some. I hope this isn't like a relay race game. I don't need these activities. As I'm getting older, I just want to slow down. I don't, it looks like they're playing some kind of game. Who knows? Oh, wait. It looks like they have faces on sticks that they're holding. So obviously these ladies' faces are on these sticks for some reason. We'll find out during the season.
We are going to arrive in style.
Okay, so then we see Erika Jayne in her St. Lucia carnival outfit where, it's like, whoa, I can see all of Erika Jayne except for her nips. You know what I'm saying? And then we have a scene where Kathy Hilton's wearing the lampshade hat and Dorit has a lampshade hat on as well. So this is what, to Dorit's tagline, is saying Dorit becomes close to Kathy. This is probably what it's talking about. Just when Kathy Hilton gives somebody a lampshade necklace, a lampshade hat, that's a pretty big deal. Can you imagine?
Because it really does go with my Chanel bathing suits.
So Dorit's like, this hat really goes with my bathing suit. Woo-hoo, fancy, fancy. And then we see an old school, what is this, a Mercedes or like a fancy top-down old school rich person's car?
So elegant.
Oh, it's Kathy Hilton's car. And she's like, it feels so elegant. I thought this car was Kyle. I didn't even realize it was a car. And then we see Boz, and that's the new character, Boz St. John. And she's in this like beautiful form-fitting wedding gown, I think, and looks gorgeous. Her hair's all like done up. It looks incredible.
Oh, that weighs, honey.
Then we see a lot of feet stepping out of car and fancy shoes. You guys know, I don't know fashion at all. So these look like very expensive shoes, just stepping. One stepping at a car, one stepping up steps, all different shoes. Hey, if you're a shoe lover, this season is going to be for you.
Anything that people have seen you in, that's the kiss of death.
So we hear Sutton going, you can't wear nothing twice in a row. That's a kiss of death in Beverly Hills. I say. Ron Bailey wears this same cardigan he got from Target again and again. And we crucified him for it. I say. But I don't do it. I don't wear nothing, not even undies. I wear undies, a one and done undies. I say.
Beverly Hills.
Boz is the real deal. She's the boss.
So that's, Boz is the real deal. He's the boss, I say. And Sutton's using these hand motions. She's the boss. And I believe then we see the island of St. Lucia, I'm guessing.
To St. Lucia.
Yeah, Kyle's like, here's to St. Lucia. And they're all in these like carnival type outfits. They're drinking some sort of red drink and cheersing each other. Everybody looks really done up. We see Erika Jayne dive off a yacht. And I mean, listen, I'm looking at her body underwater and she looks amazing. And that is such a difference from where we saw Erika Jayne a couple seasons ago. Remember when she did she piss herself on that yacht? She was like,
I'm just having a few drinks. I'm doing good. I'm doing lay here. I'll have a good time.
I don't think, maybe that's Heather Gay I'm thinking of, but she definitely, remember when she was shit canned on that yacht and was like,
I'm doing good.
So yeah, anyways, what a difference a couple of years makes and a semaglutide. You know what I'm saying? We saw a quick shot of ziplining. Does Bravo get like a package deal with zipliners this season? We see ziplining on Salt Lake City, now Beverly Hills. Is there like some email that goes around where Andy Cohen's like, I need every franchise to have a ziplining scene. I took my son and daughter on one and they loved it. Must use on show. We see fireworks going off. And we hear, I don't know if that's Dorit's cackle or Erika Jayne's cackle, but it's and this is where I think we see Erika Jayne's like everything but her nips. Like she's taking everything. She got those am I allowed to say nipple? She has the nipple tassels on. She has the nipple tassels on. And then we see, I think they're at a drag show. I think that maybe a drag, I don't know. Anyways, and then all of a sudden we cut to Jennifer Tilly walking in her house with Kyle.
Tiffany.
And she goes, don't mind Tiffany. And Tiffany is from Chucky, from Bride of Chucky. And we see the doll and the doll's red lights light up. They did that in post. Don't worry. The doll doesn't really have evil red satanic eyes. But then all of a sudden they show that shot of, Jennifer Tilly showing that to Kyle. And then we like smash cut into Sutton, her assistant Avi, and Garcelle in what looks like a moving van potentially, just because of the way the back, it looks like a moving van to me. And they're all screaming like, ah, so it's a little funny edit cut, but Sutton driving any kind of U-Haul scares the bejesus out of me. Like could you imagine like, oh, I got ran over by two housewives and Avi today. Maybe that's why Sutton Concepts is going away as a brick and mortar, because they ran over somebody and they sued for that store.
Oh, that's really creepy. Are you married?
Not this week.
Okay. We're adults here. So Dorit, this is the scene with Dorit, and it's Dorit and Erika Jayne. And Dorit, there's this guy, this good-looking guy, right? He's a good-looking guy, but Dorit's like, are you married? And he goes, not this week. No, not this week. Oh. And as you look closer, because it's freeze framed, he's one of those guys that only buttons the last two buttons of any shirt. So he's got full like Jax Taylor, the chest is fully out, and he's wearing like 4 gold necklaces around. He's like a salt and pepper, a handsome guy. But can I say, like, this guy screams potentially, I think he likes other guys. I'm just going to go out there on a limb, like, not this. Are you married? Not this week. Oh, it's just like, that's the vibe I'm getting. But then.
Me neither.
Beverly Hills.
But then Dorit goes, me neither. And the guy goes, as he kind of rubs her back. I truly think they're wanting us to think this is like, oh my God, Dorit, hot and heavy with this dude. But I didn't take it that as, I know they're trying to introduce that Dorit has issues with their relationship, but I feel like we could have done it in a potentially a better way, because this guy screams, like more she, like, oh, I don't want that to be offensive at all. I think he's probably a very proud gay man. But it just seemed like, I was like, I don't think Dorit's going to hook up with this dude. Like, but it was funny repartee, I guess.
Is the place where marriages come to die.
And then you hear Sutton's voiceover of like, this is the place where marriages come to die, I say, which I think she means Beverly Hills and not Buca de Beppo, but who knows? And then we see a scene of Sutton talking to Kyle.
I think that you need to file.
And Sutton's like, I think you need to file, Kyle. That rhymes. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I think you need to file. And at first I was like, oh my God, taxes? She needs to file an extension? Then I realized, for divorce. She hasn't filed for divorce from Mauricio yet.
Sucks to see your photos of your ex making out with some child.
And that's when we see Mauricio, which I think is Kyle, not his daughter, but I think it's Kyle hugging her, which looks like on some kind of trail. So maybe it's like a hiking scene that they do a lot. And he's like holding Kyle, and Garcelle's voiceover of like, it sucks to see, your guy making out with somebody so young. Because remember, Mauricio went on that ski trip with that influencer and that other singer, and they were both very young, and they were taking, some Instagram photos that were proudly being posted. So yeah, even if Kyle's moved on, and also who knows about the Morgan Wade stuff, but it's got to hurt regardless, right? It's got to hurt in that. So I'm really curious how they're going to handle that. So then we see Kyle, which looks like tears in her eyes.
Of course.
And she says, it's too much all at once. And Mauricio seems like not hardened, but he's like, of course. You know, I can't. It's like, of course. I don't know why I'm making him sound Southern. Of course. Anyway, he just looks like very matter of fact. Like, of course it's tough. Of course. And yeah, I mean, it's got to be really tough.
We're talking like 5 times a day.
I know, but we're not going to.
Okay, so then it's Dorit and PK in some kind of fancy like booth at some restaurant. Would have been a great time for Buca de Beppo, but whatever. And Dorit's like, we're talking 5 times a day, which I think she means her and PK are talking 5 times a day on the phone. And then PK's like, yeah, but we're not going to. We're not. Hey, it's me, PK. I'm back. We're not going to, Dorit. We're not going to. So I think that obviously means like, yeah, but we're not always going to be doing that. I'm not going to be talking to you every day. And Dorit has that zoinks, you know.
You're angry, and you're not angry at me. You're angry at your life. You're volatile.
Okay, so then we have Sutton on one. She's like, you're angry at your life. You're not angry at me, I say. And Erika's like,
you're volatile. You're volatile right now.
So I don't know if Sutton, and by the way, Sutton's in a cowboy hat, just to give you a point of reference. I don't know if this is like a Yellowstone themed episode or what. So we don't know if Sutton is talking to Erika Jayne or if Sutton's potentially talking to Kyle, and then Erika Jayne throws in a comment, just like,
well, I notice you're volatile right now.
But Sutton has this look of like, well, you're going to say I look volatile? How dare you, Erika Jayne?
God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Can you let me talk?
It's okay, Kyle. It's time for you to listen.
Ooh, so then Kyle is saying to Dorit, God gave you 2 ears and a mouth for a reason, so you can listen. And Dorit's like, I'm not taking this anymore. You need to fucking listen, Kyle Richards. It's time for you to listen to Dorit's monologues. And Kyle has that face of like, I can't believe Dorit just said that to me. What?
Kyle told me PK texts her.
Okay. Then we have Garcelle going, Dorit told me that Kyle Texas her. Texas is PK. First off, we're going to get to what that sentence actually means, but let's talk about how Garcelle says it. What is Texas's? I was like, the state of Texas? I know she's trying to say Tex, but it seems like Garcelle has a hard time at the Texas's her. Kyle, but also, do we really in any kind of universe think that Kyle and PK are texting romantically? There's not a chance in hell. So, I mean, obviously they have a friendship before. Now, remember, like all the fandom always likes to joke that Mauricio and Dorit were always doing the hippity dippity. And I think they took great offense to that joke. But, you know, that was always just something funny because they were always kind of like doing like foursome coupley things. So that was always out there. Very hurtful, I think, to Dorit and Kyle. But there is no way in God's green earth that I think that is anything. I'm just more concerned with how Garcelle says Texas is. Oh, my God. Dorit told me that Kyle Texas is PK. We got to fix that in post or something. And anyways, we have a shot of Sutton once again in her cowboy hat. Good stuff.
What more do you want from me? I want you.
Okay. And then Kyle's like, what more do you fucking want from me? Talking to Dorit. And you guys, if you've seen The Incredible Hulk, you know how Bruce Banner turns into the Hulk? We go to Dorit and Dorit has fully hulked out. Like her face is like, I'm ready to go. And she screams.
Stop raising your voice to me. No. You say everybody.
So Dorit's like, I'm not. This is my normal Dorit voice. But this is like, I want you to stop. I want you to fucking listen to me. Fucking me. Like it was like, oh my God, Dorit. Like I've not seen Dorit. And I hear a glass break, and there's like I don't know, like weird funfetti banners in the background, and everybody's like, whoa, and it looks like Erika Jayne gets up. So I don't know if people are like lunging at each other, if Dorit's like, I'm taking you down, I'm taking you to Pound Town, Kyle. But it's really scary to watch.
I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
And this is where we started off the trailer. Kyle's in a bathrobe. She's in sunglasses. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm done. I'm done. And she's walking through like this really fancy spa area.
Damn. Where the hell is she going?
And then Bo says, damn, where the hell is she going? So this is our Bo. She's in a beautiful red dress. Love her little talking head right here. So that's, a idea of things to come with her. And then our last shot is seeing Kyle in the bathrobe getting into a SUV as the other ladies stand around in their robes looking as Kyle, it gets driven off in the SUV. And then it's like the music is so pounding and intense. It's like that movie Inception. Dun, 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 dun. And then we go to our title card, which we saw earlier, of all the ladies in full va-va-voom glam. And Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 14 will be premiering Tuesday, November 19th at 8 p.m. Check your local listings. We will be recapping this series in full. Even though once again, bravo, if you're listening and you've made it this far, please consider moving this to January. Let me have some family time. Let me just reconnect. We're going into war again this soon. We got Salt Lake. Anyways, it's fine. This looked fabulous. It looked fantastic. And just think, this didn't really show us nearly as much. Like, we don't know so many things. This is just like the broadest of overviews. For as many specific things as we talked about, think about like we still don't know most of these women's true storylines. So I think this is a really great trailer because it gets you in, it reminds you, but there are so many things that we are yet to have be discovered. And I think that is the exciting thing. So I think, to me, 5 out of 5 trailer. What did you guys think? If you're on YouTube, let us know in the comments. If you're on listening to this on the podcast, just leave a good review. I don't know, leave a comment, email me, sobadit'sgoodwithryanbailey@gmail.com. And just in typical So Bad It's Good fashion, we've taken a 2-minute and 37-second trailer and we have made an hour podcast out of it. So you guys, I hope you have the best weekend ever. Thank you to Maritza Lopez, who made all of these insanely beautiful graphics. Now, the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is Love is Latino is Maritza Lopez's new podcast covering the entire season of Love is Blind Mexico, which actually is a better season than season 7 of Love is Blind. So what I'm going to ask you to do, go subscribe to her podcast, rate it 5 stars, listen, go watch Love is Blind Mexico, which had a better season than this current US iteration. And that's it, folks. I'm going to be doing an OC recap and also a Salt Lake recap. It's going to be a little late this week because I'm in Charleston for a wedding, and I'll do a recap of that or put it on the Patreon as well. So that's it, you guys. Have a great weekend. And Beverly Hills, here we come. Get ready for some insane unhinged recaps. Bye.